Are you day trading and just cannot get profitable? If that sounds like something going on with you to where you're making money one day, losing all of it the next, then this is the right video that you just clicked on. 'Cause I've been trading for 6 years now, and I'm gonna go over the top 5 things that if I would have fixed these sooner, it would have made my life a lot easier. The first one to start with is just to be a disciplined person, not only in trading, but in life. Because when you get home from work, I know you're probably tired, but you need to go on that run. You need to lift those weights. Don't just sit on the couch and watch Netflix until it's time to eat dinner and go to bed. And make dinner. Don't go out and get takeout. Actually, make dinner. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're disciplined in life, you'll be disciplined in trading because you can watch all the trading videos you want, read all the trading books, study the charts. Anybody can do that, right? But not everyone can be a disciplined person. So probably 9 out of 10 people that watch this video are not going to implement the things we go over today. But I promise you, if you do fix these things in your trading, you're going to see a drastic change in within a week's time. All you have to do is do it, right? I know it sounds easy, but just be disciplined. Now, the other thing is over trading. A lot of people over trade. Now, you might take 2 trades right out the gate, make money, and then you're sitting there staring at the charts. Don't do that. Close the charts down. Go live your life. You don't want to be a trader that's all you do is stare at charts all day long because it's going to make you trade, right? So if you make your money, there's no reason to still sit there. Come back later on that evening, study the charts, look at the different levels so you're set up for the next day. Because if you just sit there looking at the charts all day, you're going to take a trade. And that's how you lose money. And over trading, I heard somebody say the other day, you could pay somebody $50 to stand behind you with a 2x4, and every time you're going to sit there and take a dumb trade, they'll hit you over the head with it. It'll save you a lot of money, and you won't do it for very long, I promise you, right? So over trading is a big key. Being a disciplined person is another big one, is to pick one strategy. Don't do what they call strategy hopping. When I first started, I would try one trade, then I would try a bull flag, then I would try a head and shoulders pattern. I would try anything that I saw, right? Stick to one strategy, whether that's just support and resistance, a VWAP breakout, retest. Follow one strategy, master that one strategy, and then say you do master that one, then you can add another one to your toolbox, right? Don't sit there and try every single thing that pops up. Because if you sit there and try every trade, you're not going to make money in the long run. You might get lucky here and there, but to make a consistent, profitable day every single day, you can't be strategy hopping because you have to be an expert in one strategy to master more, right? So that was the biggest thing with me is I would try different things, especially the first, I'd say month or two when I first started trading. It was just, I would make some money one day. I'd be like, oh man, this head and shoulders pattern works, right? This is it. And then you would try the head and shoulders pattern the next time and it reverts and goes the opposite way on you, right? It's not always going to work. And you have to know that too. When you do have a strategy, if you get proven wrong, you need to know you're wrong and get out of the trade. But that's the biggest thing I learned is just not to have all these different strategies. Just stick to the one and one time frame as well. Not just one strategy, but one time frame. Don't be flipping from the 1 minute to the 10 minute to the 1 hour. Stick to one time frame, learn that, master it with that one strategy, and I promise you, you're going to be a better trader for it. And I just wish I would have started that sooner. You have to totally change your thinking. Now, what do I mean by that? So most people, they grow up wanting to win, right? Losing is bad. You're taught losing is bad, you want to win. Well, in trading, you have to change how you think, right? It's okay to take losses. And that was another big piece. If I would have fixed that sooner, it would have saved me from blowing accounts over and over again, right? Because 9 out of 10 times my sizing was wrong. I would just hold a trade and hope it was going to hurry up and reverse on me, and it never would. It would just keep going. Now, you might get lucky here and there, but those are bad habits. So the next thing is just to have good risk management. It's okay to take a loss. It's good to take a loss because that means you're getting that much closer to a winner, right? Because it's the game of probabilities. So the more trades you take, obviously, the more chances you have to win or lose. But that's why we put all the pieces in our favor. So we have that much more of a chance of actually being profitable in trading. So if you can just make sure you're sizing correctly, if you hit your stop loss, you don't say, well, let me just hold it a little bit longer and I think it's going to reverse right here. No, you cut the trade. You let that stop loss hit and get out. And don't just jump right back in, right? Let it settle out before you re-enter, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, if you hit your stop loss and then hurry up re-enter the trade, it's going to keep going against you, right? So stick to your rules that you set. Be disciplined, just like we said earlier. Because if you're disciplined, when you hit your stop loss, you cut it, you move on to the next trade, you forget about that one, right? We're not going to keep thinking about it, dwelling on it. Because just the other day, I had my neighbor, he reached out to me. He said, I had meta puts. I made $500, but if I would have held it, I would have made $2,500. You can't think like that. I know it's hard, but train your brain. Okay, you made $500. That trade's gone. I'm not going to keep watching what I could have made. Because if you think like that, the next trade you take, you're going to hold it longer because you think you can make more money on it. And it's not going to work out, right? So just remember that. Take the trade. Once that trade's over with, you made whatever money you're going to make and you move on to the next one. So risk management is a big part of trading. You always have to protect your capital. That is number one. Protect your capital, because if you lose it all, you're out of the game and there's no more trading for you, right? So once you're out, like, your game's over. You're done. We can't have that. So that's why I'm glad you're watching this video, and just implement one of these things and it's going to improve your trading drastically, right? So moving forward, just risk management, position sizing, you hit your stop losses, you're getting out. When you do take losses, just look at it as like a fee of playing the stock market, right? It's a fee you're paying, that you're paying to play the game, okay? Don't look at it as a loss, just look at it as a fee, okay? You fix risk management and you're going to be a great trader. Another key thing that I struggled with was learning from my mistakes. I got to the point where I was making a mistake and I would know in my head, like, okay, I can't do that anymore. The next day, I would notice I would do the exact same thing, right? Now, what's the definition of insanity? To keep doing the exact same things and expecting different results. Well, that was me. That was a picture perfect of that, right? So if I can just give you another piece of advice is, if you make a mistake, write it down. At the end of the day, you need to journal your trades anyways. So if you made any mistakes in your trading, make sure you write down exactly what you did wrong. And every single night, review exactly what you did that trading day so you learn from it. Because if you just trade and then forget it, and the next day you come back to the market, you're going to make that same mistake. So just make sure you're fixing mistakes once they happen. And if you can do that, you're going to be a profitable trader in no time, because you're going to learn what to do and what not to do, right? Just like hitting your stop loss, you're not going to change your stop loss, right? If it hits, you're out. You're not going to FOMO into a trade. You're not going to just jump in as soon as the market opens, right? We're going to wait 15 to 30 minutes, let the market settle as soon as it opens, see a trend form, and then we're going to enter, right? So if you notice you're jumping right in the market, you FOMO in, then you write that down, okay? I notice I'm getting excited. As soon as the market opens, I feel that I'm getting excited. My blood's pumping, right? Okay, well, that maybe you need to get up, take a walk, come back to the markets, then take a trade where you're more relaxed and more focused in your head, right? Because if you're all pumped up as soon as the market opens, you're like, oh, I got to get in a trade. Well, that's a key to disaster, right? So just learn from your mistakes, and that's exactly how you're going to do it. You're going to write them down every single night and just review them so you're not making the same mistake over and over and over again, because that was something I kept doing. If I would have fixed it, I would have been more profitable a lot sooner, right? So if you just fix one of those 5 things that we went over today, that's going to improve your trading drastically. Whether you're over trading, right? Whether you're making mistakes over and over again, you're strategy hopping, going from one strategy to the next, whether you have poor risk management, or you're just not a disciplined person or trader, you just improve one of those, and I promise you, you're going to see your trading change within a week, more than likely, maybe sooner. Now, I would love for you to put in the comments below if you're struggling with any one of those 5 things. And if you start to implement that and you see your trading improve, come back to the comments and let me know, hey, this helped me out. Thank you. I'd always like some good feedback, right? So if you got value from this, make sure you hit the like button. I do offer one-on-one coaching. I have a link in the description below if that's something you're interested in. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next video just like this one. Start putting these into motion so you can become a profitable trader. You owe it to yourself and your family. We'll see you in the next one.